Good morning. Troy Cable here with Coffee with Cable, your weekly cup of motivation. Lately, I'll tell you what, this compass must be broken because north can no longer be found on it. See, any good compass, if you have one, has one major role, finding the exact location of north. However, lately, it doesn't know its south from its north or its east from its west. Does me no good. Directs me in any direction aimlessly, just making me go in circles, wasting my time, my breath, and my energy. But as Proverbs 21:16 says, the one who wanders from the way of understanding will rest in the assembly of the dead. So, we might as well grab a cup of coffee and see if we can reset the moral of this compass, for we don't want to rest in that kind of company. So, just like this wandering compass, some would claim that we as a people, that our moral compass is wandering just as well and needs to be reset. Why some of you even question, why do we even need a moral compass? Well, I would have to say without a moral compass that is pointing in north, one will end up confused and with no understanding of what the difference is between right and wrong. Therefore, feeling entitled to destroy one's personal property just because one gets a little offended, oh wait, we're already there. So, without a moral compass, one is more likely that you will make a decision without thinking through the consequences of your actions. One will be more likely to be tempted to stretch the truth when it benefits you to do so. With a moral compass, you'll find it easier to resist temptation through principle-based decision making. In other words, your choices will be based on your values and what you hold to be true, rather than what's easiest and what will benefit you in that particular moment. We need to have a moral compass with structured core values in order to strike the right balance in your life between reason and emotion. As I have to say before, us as humans tend to react out of emotion and need to learn to control our emotions and not let them control us. A moral compass can guide you towards what you ought to do in a given situation and not just what you want to do, or even what others want you to do. There's a way which seemeth right unto the man, but the endeth thereof are the ways of death. Proverbs 14:12. Let's chew on that for a little bit. The strength of our moral compass helps define your character, which determines how people choose to interact with you. See, now according to the Bible, man was created in God's image. With this part of our makeup is that we are all moral beings and are able to differentiate between right and wrong. How is this possible? Through our knowledge of God's law. Romans 1:19 through 20 says, "For what can be known about God is plain to them, because God has shown it to them. For His invisible attributes, namely His eternal power and divine nature, have been made clearly perceived ever since the creation of the world and the things that have been made. So they are without excuse." We all are without excuse. If you don't know what you stand for and what your ethics and beliefs are, then it is very difficult to make any moral choices at all, much less good ones. Pastor Reverend James Whitney states, "If you don't stand for something, you'll be surely to fall for anything." A lot of that going on these days. By establishing and following a set of moral values, you provide both yourself and those around you with a sense of consistency. You see, by having a moral compass, you'll be less fickle and self-motivated when facing moral dilemmas, because you can compare to the past situations with an unwavering moral standard. You need to have a sense of an absolute rather than a relative right and wrong. Your moral compass can be defined as a set of personal values that will guide your decision-making capability, especially in ethical, tough situations. Examples of core values I think all of us as human beings can agree on: not to kill one another, kindness, integrity, justice, dignity, not to lie, cheat, or steal, being jealous, then finally taking personal responsibility for one's own actions. Yes, I know that's somewhat of a horse pill to swallow, but your compass will not work without it. Having a moral compass will help you become more of a trusted individual. Like as most parents want to be a good role model for their children, hoping to instill the ethical and moral framework that children need to be happy individuals and be productive members of society. But you don't also have to be a parent to be a good role model. You can also be a coach, a teacher, a mentor, or someone that's working in the faith. And each one of these leadership positions require you to understand core values and ethical stances so that you can guide the individuals on their way. In order to be trusted leader or role model, you must know who you are and what you stand for. And you must have a standard by which you can work through moral dilemmas that test you. Does having a moral compass mean never making a mistake or suffering in an ethical stumble? No, not at all. Instead, those set of moral values will be able to learn from your failures and use them to make better decisions in the future. In fact, it's often the situation that tests our moral fiber that helps make our moral compass that much stronger. Well, that's all I have for you this week. Thank you for watching Coffee with Cable, and oh, look at that. This way.